Malaria kills 3,000 people every day in sub-Saharan Africa. Let's see what Rotary is doing about it.
Brian, one of your passions in Rotary is eliminating malaria in Tanzania. Why's that?
It came about because I was taking school children and then later Rotaractors on overseas trips to improve health centres, to build school classrooms and things like that. And we were finding that a lot of our workforce were going ill, and it all stemmed from malaria. And then we found that some of our workforce were not attending that day because they had to attend to a funeral, and you find out that their relatives are dying from malaria. And I thought, yes, why not? I should try to help these people.
Okay, so you had this idea and you just went for it?
Spent a lot of time with the local people, local medical health people in Tanzania, find out what they wanted. Then I came back to the UK, spoke to the health centres over here, Institute of Tropical Medicine, and said, what's the best way that we can help? And to a man, both here and in Tanzania, they said, supply bed nets. That's the most important thing to keep people alive.
Was it very difficult getting people to use the nets, Brian?
That's a very good question, because we have our Rotaractors there who help us with the projects, and in the early stages they actually went into the houses, and we're talking not of houses as we know them, but mud huts with wooden rafters and things like that, and they were putting up the nets. They were hammering nails in the top or tying in nets around the beams, making sure that the people knew that by keeping them under the bed, they didn't keep mosquitoes out the way. So we had to hang them up for them. It caught on very, very quickly once they knew what they had to do.
Could you let us have a bit of an idea of what some of the symptoms are?
Yes, it's really just a question of how do you feel when you get the flu. You feel a bit drowsy, you feel nausea, you feel just generally worn down, and that's really what malaria is all about. That also is an offshoot really of problems, because yes, they also get types of flu, and if we're not careful we may treat a flu type symptom and not malaria, so we have to be careful that we treat the same thing. And once it's in the bloodstream, it keeps on recurring, so although you might get it this year, 3 years time you could still get malaria then. It keeps on coming back.
How do you get the work done out in Tanzania?
The family of Rotary. Ladies of Inner Wheel, Rotaract, the 18 to 30 year olds interact, the ones 12 to 18, and the Rotarians, of course. They're very, very important because they are the ones that make sure that everything's going on.
Have you seen much success over 12 years?
The incidence of malaria in our villages that we've been working in has been reduced by 64%. So that is tremendous. Bearing in mind that 3,000 people die every day in sub-Saharan Africa through malaria. So 64% saving on that is good. Our idea, of course, in the future, long term, is to have this vaccine. How long it's going to take, we don't know. Tests are going on throughout the world at present, and very successful tests. But Bill Gates has gone on record to say that malaria can be beaten. And with his help in the funding of the vaccine, I'm sure it will be beaten. So that's our long term. We should keep on supplying bed nets until that vaccine comes along. And of course, the other important factor is now that a bed net produced in Arusha by local workers, 24-hour day production, World Health Organization standards, only costs us £2.50 per net. So that's a great saving of lives just for £2.50.
So what is involved in the package or the programme that you deliver?
The package altogether is residual house spraying the interior of houses with insecticide, clearing swampy areas, the breeding sites for mosquitoes, the planting of mosquito repellent trees. All these things are very important to keep the mosquitoes at bay. And then of course we have the education, which is again the key factor of the whole issue. But it all comes together. You can't do one thing without everything else.
Well, that brings us to an end this programme. Please remember, Rotary's business is doing good in the community. Rotarians are just ordinary people, just like you, who are prepared to go out of their way to help others. But when they work together under the Rotary banner, those ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. Rotarians change lives, save lives, and give hope. Now, if that interests you, then please contact us.